in remembrance of CJ. Drove the hearse Cadillac. A crowd of people gathered round, all dressed in black. And as they removed his body from the car, such pain she never knew has filled her heart. Why, oh why, I heard his mother cry. But oh Lord, it was the beginning of her and justice for CJ. In a mother's love, you will find everything's alright. To a mother's love, you are bound. You can rest on sacred ground. You are free to dream, because she sees what you can be. I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Greetings and welcome to the Tiger's Den. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. Coming to you another Sunday, and unfortunately, I'm not coming on camera just yet. I'm still coughing and blowing and doing all the things that goes with the head cold or whatever this is. Hello, everybody. I want to say greetings to Maria, Asatar, So Alicia, DJ Cleveland, any and all that are in the bushes, in the clouds, in the trees, on the beach, wherever you may be. You know, I was really wondering if I even felt like getting on here tonight, committing to what I commit to every Sunday and every Wednesday. It is so, to me, disconcerting to see so many people saying that, they want to change, they want to do something different. They're looking for entertainment to get away from the hustle and bustle of life. But it seems that the majority of the people tend to like the craziness. I don't know if it's curiosity that makes them want to listen to people being torn down and their families ripped apart and being doxxed all over the world. I had a pretty good reign, I would say, for the first maybe 12 months or so of my YouTube career until last August 21st, when all things changed and all people changed. I didn't understand the game of social media. I understand it more today, but I'm not willing to play those games. And when you're not willing to play those games, then you run the risk of not getting a lot of support. I want to thank you guys that support me and that show up every week. And I'm going to continue to do what I do. I do my best to uplift fallen humanity, and I've been reading from a book that has been really good to some of the people. At least they say it has been. And to read a chapter of a book that's teaching you some of the reasons why you could think the way you think or act the way you act, and only to have YouTube to say that it's not worthy of all advertisement is really, really, really disheartening. Because you hear and see all of the different things that are going on with different people, and you know that your content is nothing of that nature. And I don't believe that they're advertising on all of these crazy talking videos, but yet I'm getting treated just the same. Victim, no, I'm not a victim per se, because I don't know what the algorithms are all about. YouTube they have guidelines. They have guidelines for you to receive advertisement, and then they give you subjects that you need to stay away from. Now, if you look at my thumbnail, what it's saying basically is no matter if you're a blogger, a news reporter, or just someone with an opinion, your freedom to express yourself is a fundamental human right. You are free to seek, send, or receive information and share ideas with others through the form of media. And we do know that no matter what corporation you're associated with, there are company policies, rules, and regulations. Under the YouTube policies, especially as it relates to AdSense and Google publishing policy, it says that what you'll find in this article, you'll find examples of content not suitable for ads and will result in a limited or no ads monetization state. Here are all the main topics that are not advertiser friendly: inappropriate language, violence, adult content, shocking content, harmful or dangerous acts, hateful or derogatory content, recreational drugs and drug-related content, firearms-related content, controversial issues, sensitive events, enabling dishonest behavior, inappropriate content for kids and families, incendiary and demeaning tobacco-related content. and I share none of that content. So it begs to reason, what do they mean when they make these broad statements of topics that are not worthy of ads? So you can go and look individually. Inappropriate language. Inappropriate language. Content that contains profanity or vulgarity at the start or throughout the majority of the video may not be suitable for advertising. Occasional use of profanity, such as in music videos, backtracks, and intro-outro music, or music played in the background, won't necessarily result in your video being unsuitable for advertising. Hi, Lazy Bone, good to see you. Violence. Content where the focal point is on blood, violence, or injury. When presented without the other context, it is not suitable for advertising. If you're showing violent content in a news, educational, artistic, or documentary context, that additional context is important. For example, if a video provides authoritative news reporting on a violent event in a journalistic context, it may be eligible for monetization. Violence in unedited video gameplay is generally acceptable for advertising, but montages where gratuitous violence is the focal point is not. All games, whether realistic or non-realistic, are in the scope of the policy. None of that applies to me. Adult content. Content that features highly sexualized content in the title or thumbnail or highly sexualized themes is not suitable for advertising. There are limited exceptions for non-graphic sexual education videos and music videos. These policy includes both real and computer-generated visuals. Stating comedic intent does not make highly sexualized content suitable for advertising. Shocking content. Content that may upset, disgust, or shock viewers by not being suitable for advertising. Uncensored shocking elements won't necessarily result in your video being unsuitable for advertising, but context matters. Harmful or dangerous acts. Content that promotes harmful or dangerous acts resulting in serious physical, emotional, or psychological injury is not suitable for advertisements. And then they go on to give you some examples, such as stunts, some general harmful, dangerous acts, activities where risk is involved with no visible injuries, such as professional stunts or extreme sports, such as windsuit flying, footage of persons doing wheelies or ground level park. They got Parker. Motor vehicle speeding or drifting without doing dangerous tricks. Failed compilations. Failed compilation videos without a focus or a graphic injury, such as walking into a glass door. These are the type of examples that they give. None of which are included in my videos. When you look at hateful and derogatory content, content that incites hatred against, promotes discrimination, disparages, or humiliates an individual or group of people, is not suitable for advertising. Content that is satire or comedy may be exempt. Stating your comedic intent is not sufficient, and that content may still not be suitable for advertising. Controversial issues. Controversial issues refer to topics that may be unsettling for our users and are often the result of human tragedy. This policy applies even if the content is purely commentary or contains no graphic imagery. Sensitive events. A sensitive event is an event with significant social, cultural, or political impact, such as civil emergencies, natural disasters, public health emergencies, terrorism, and related activities. conflict, or mass acts of violence. Sensitive events may cause a mournful response from the public or, at times, an extreme or visceral reaction. Context is important. For instance, authoritative news reporting or documentary videos about a historic event may be eligible for monetization, enabling dishonest behavior. Content glorifying or promoting dishonest behavior, such as trespassing, cheating, or computer hacking, that is personal or paid for. So when you read those topics and you know that your videos don't have any of that in it or the intent, then you have to wonder, what is this all about? We need to look at the world today and see what's really happening. And as I look around in the news on a lot of different YouTube videos, actually, we have a lot of children that are coming up missing. And even when they're found, they're deceased. And a lot of these videos are happening with people that are close to the individuals. It's step parents or even parents, friends of the family. Kind of like the information that's been going around about this young man lately. Heard all manner of what it could be, what it could not be. I think the biggest problem I have with the public on this is that fact that they're arguing a case that has already been decided some 20 years ago. The person is serving out their sentence and the result of the sentence. And people are relitigating and actually spending money to get transcripts and to do what? I don't understand that. It's very mind-boggling to me. I come on here and I try to give something that people are interested in. Unfortunately for me, it's only a handful of people that are interested in my content. I try to switch up the content to keep it where we're still growing and moving forward. Unfortunately, those videos are still not advertiser worthy. And so I don't understand when you look at their community guidelines and the things that they say that can be done, what they're about, and the people that show interest. It's very disheartening. And I always do my best to encourage people to use this platform as a means of another stream of income because, in all honesty, it really is. But today, I don't know what is considered another stream of income because it seems any topic that you talk about that is written, actually tried and true, it seems to be considered not advertisement worthy. And I don't understand that at all. I don't choose to get on here and talk about people and display their families and everybody that went to prison and what they went for and things of that nature. I have been blatantly attacked and bullied, and it seems everybody used all of my talking points and getting paid off of it, and I'm fighting for my cause, and I'm just fighting. I'm just the joke of the day. Everybody is supporting everybody and fighting for other people, but no voice for me. And I really don't need a voice because I know what I'm going to do and I'm doing what I'm going to do. But it's really disheartening to hear and see and support individuals. And I may keep going, so Alicia, but I may not. I love talking and I love helping people, but I'm not into the bullshit. I'm really not. And no matter how and what I do, it's a lot of people say, keep going. I'm interested, but they all afraid to type inside of the chat. So they say, but you see them in other chats where all the turmoil is, and they don't have a problem typing in the chat. Yeah, that's nerve-wracking to me. And I don't tolerate craziness for a long period of time. And nobody has to know me or believe in me. I know me and I believe in me. And I'm telling you, to me, this is really getting to be, I'm talking about it stopped being fun a long time ago, but it's really getting to be disgusting to see how things are playing out. And to me, that's what it is, playing out. Everything is content, not content with a purpose, just content. I can understand people saying that they have a purpose. They're doing this for, in defense of, I've had to do that. So I understand what that's about. But a lot of this to me is just sensationalism and craziness. And it's the more bizarre and crazy, the more people flock to it and support it. And that's not why I'm here. It's really not. And I don't just make up shit out the blue, so I can't just get on here and just say anything. That's not who I am, nor is that who I want to be. I could get on here and talk to myself. I really could. But even that is nerve-wracking. I picked 2 days of the week to go on, and it appears I see people going on 3 and 4 times a day, every day. And they always seem to go on the same time that I go on, the 2 days that I go on. And I've heard many of people say, if you're the larger content creator, you wouldn't compete with the people that are smaller and trying to build their channel. I don't see that to be true. I hear that, but I don't see that to be true. And again, it's disheartening for me as a content creator, one who's trying to bring something different. People used to talk in the chat. Even my supporters, most of you guys are not here because you got other things to do, or you're breaking away from the craziness. And I don't bring crazy, so I don't understand that. But yet I may see you in somebody else's chat where the craziness is. And I'm not one that say that you can't go where you want to go, because you can go where you want to go. I don't have a problem with that. But there used to be a time when we actually had communication and it was fun. Now we just hitting the like button. Well, with 1,400 subscribers and people just hitting the like button, that's not getting me out to the individuals that I believe that need to see or hear anything that I'm talking about. It's really sad, but it's reality. And it's not sad for me because I don't bank on this. This is just something that I wanted to do, was inspired to do and love to do. Maybe the rain has come and the time has run out for me, because I can't play these little old stupid ass games, because that's what they are to me. Stupid ass games. Everybody want to be something great, they say, but they doing everything to me not to be great. That's just my personal opinion. I'm just one woman. So I'm not going to stay too long, because I really don't even feel like talking. Like I said, I don't even know nothing that I can talk about that would be beneficial for you all or for me, because nobody communicates and participates in the conversations like we used to. And so I know they say that there's people in the bushes and things of that nature, but that is getting to be yuck. And these people believe if you're not on here to make money, why are you on here? It's not that you don't want to make money, but I'm not willing to do and say anything for money. Money is a means of an end for me. It's to pay a bill, or to help somebody. It's not about destroying people and telling the greatest lie or truth on someone. Even when they see the truth, they deny the truth and make it be whatever they want the truth to be. And it's all a day, because it's the herd mentality. And that's just the way society is. You can accept it or you can reject it. But trust me, you're going to know it. And you know it by the way people act and the way people move around. You know it by the way the people support you and the way the people don't. It's no big thing, and you can't make anybody support you. People support you because you bring something to them, and when you stop bringing something to them, then they move on. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I do the same thing. I look at all manner of videos in different areas of YouTube. I'm not a do-it-yourselfer, so I don't look at any of those videos because I'm not going to do it. I don't even pretend to want to do something. I will pay somebody to do it, but I'm not going to do it. And if I can't pay them, then I'll ask somebody that I know with the talent to do it, and ask them to do it for me. But it's really sickening to me the way YouTube has gone down the drain, and I really don't want to have conversations on other people's lives and opinions and things of that nature. It has never been my thing, and that's why I didn't come here with that. I like just, keeping things simple, I thought, and staying out of the craziness. But you find that there is no way you can stay out of the craziness when you have crazy people drawing you into the craziness. I love you too, Maria, and thank you very much. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's just too much to me. This is not worth it. I used to give interviews weekly and had people come on from all walks of life doing awesome things. But because of the way people are doxing people and things, then I don't feel comfortable bringing anybody on here sharing anything, because they're only sharing it to 4 or 5 people. And nobody is really getting what I believe people should be getting from what I bring to the table. It's just not fun or interesting to me. I don't even know what to talk about. Ain't no need of me lying. I was going to continue to read the book, but I don't know shit if I'm being punished for reading the book. Is it the reading of the book, the topic, the subject? They don't tell you what the issue is. They just tell you it's not suitable for advertisement. And then I know we have people that have war teams that are constantly flagging videos. And I think that is totally ridiculous. And I think that YouTube has to know that a lot of this stuff is with malice and forethought, but it doesn't change anything. Yeah, I probably did, and it changed the course of YouTube forever for me as well. So I didn't come here to be a martyr, but I do believe in fighting for myself. And I'm going to always fight for myself, and I'm going to always fight the way I fight. I don't do all of the going back and forth and the cussing out and the putting down. And we all can say all of those words. And sometimes we say them in our everyday conversation. But that is nothing that I want to do with total strangers. Go tit for tat and back and forth. I'm not interested in doing all that. That's not why I got on here. Not for that. Not at all. Everybody say they want change, but nobody is seeking change. So Alicia said, Maria, yeah, she did some damage and put a huge dent in cyberbullying. Yeah, I could believe that. Asator said this sector has turned into a shit show. And that's me putting it nicely. I don't know when that's going to be, but eventually people will get tired of the BS content and want real stuff. But who knows when that is? Tell the truth, Asator. And I don't know if the people will ever get tired of craziness, because that's what they flock to. Going to be, it's like you said, it's simply just not fun anymore. Yeah, no, it's not. It's really not. And some say, well, for some people it was never fun. And I would beg to differ, because when we all came together, none of us knew enough about each other, or we all were for the same person. And so none of us had any reason to be against each other. Even though when we came, that person came talking about their peers. And I think that's what made the difference, because none of us knew those guys and never had any hopes of even meeting any of those guys. And now that we know this particular person and had a chance to meet another person and see the marked difference in the people, uh, somehow we've gotten caught up in the craziness. And it's like people that are adults and have children and families, they actually choose to be smack in the middle of craziness, all in the name of it's crazy and they don't want to be a part of it, but yet be a part of it. And it's just crazy uh, to me, asinine. And then when you look at YouTube and see what's happening to the little children throughout YouTube, and when you look at, I've been looking at some interrogations of different predators and how innocent they sound, and they stick to their guns for a very long time, but eventually, they cave in and tell the truth. It's amazing how, these people label people predators here and then actually find a case of an individual that is actually in writing a predator. And now we're all making excuses for the predator and relitigating a case that's already been litigated. And that to me just, I think that probably what kind of pushed me just into the sickening mode, how this is playing out. And it's unbelievable to see people that you thought were decent human beings making dumb comments about supporting someone that they know have gone to court, been convicted by way of plea bargaining, given whatever they were given, and then to deny all of that and say that soon as they get the paperwork to change the outcome of an outcome, then and only then will they have something to really say about the individual. And if you think that's not crazy, I can't tell y'all what crazy is. I really can't. I see it and I shake my head and I wonder. We say we love the children, we care about the children, but really, what about the children? And Maria says she's been following a few of those stories too. Yeah, it's really something too, and it's really interesting, especially when you see them being interrogated and how they just, some of them are cool, calm, and collected, and they are just as innocent as they come, they say, until maybe the third or fourth day, and then they finally crack. But it's amazing to watch, their body language and to hear their responses and to hear which things bring them emotions about certain parts of what they're talking about. And you can see when they're getting agitated about certain questions, and then you can see them just as happy as can be when they're answering other parts that don't directly put them with the victim, but you can see them, how eager they are to answer the questions. And just because people are on here talking about me to the lowest degree of talking, they need to understand that I'm not broken. They haven't broke me. They're so far removed from me. It's they're really a joke. The things that they're saying is so far fetched and so crazy. And the people that even support them, I can only just ask that they be forgiven, for they know not what they do. And they think that this is really a form of humor. And nothing is humorous about the things that are going on and being said on YouTube, and how they can talk in such a derogatory manner about children. And because they're not monetized, then nobody cares. I think it should be way deeper than that. And it doesn't matter if all I have is 10 people and 8 likes. I really don't care at this stage. It's really getting to be sickening. That's what it is for me. So Alicia said, I saw one where a girl tried to act like she was mentally crazy to try and try to outwit the cops. She killed her mother. Very sad. Yeah, and that's what Charleston talked about in his real life, that he was in juvenile with people that did that, killed their parents, their siblings, their neighbors. He's seen all manner of that in children. And again, we say children are our future. What could happen in a child's life that they would have so much rage? Why aren't we looking at what our children are doing and what's occupying their time, and how we can, change the trajectory of their lives? Because a lot of our children are caught up in the metaverse, just like it seems a lot of their parents. And when you're caught up into something that is not real, it becomes real for you. And that's what I see a lot of, that being into this metaverse can become addictive. And it could become addictive. And we know that anything that's addictive 9 times out of 10 is not good for us, because we know too much of anything is not good for us, no matter what it is. When you take stuff out of balance, because what we need in life is a balance. No matter what it is, it has to be equal. And when it's not, if it's tilted on any end of the spectrum, then you have a problem. It's what I've seen in my years of living and the behavior of people, because that's what it's all about, behavior. We all love to talk a good game, but we see it in the way we, express ourselves, the way we respond to things, the way that we may even start out with a thing. It's really, really real. So I say that I am really lost for subject matter, because I don't know which way to go at this stage of the game. Of course, we can't talk too much about who we were before we were slaves. I've given out enough information that people, if they're really interested, to research for themselves. Then we talk about being better people and overcoming some things that has overwhelmed or underwhelmed us as individuals. We can't talk about that. I don't know what to talk about, because, again, I don't enjoy talking about these people. That's not my forte. I like talking about people, but I do not condemn people to no place. Hi, Izetta. It's good to see you. I don't have a place for anybody to go. So I don't judge people, but I do talk about them. But I don't judge them, because I don't have anywhere for them to go. And we all fall short of other people's expectations, sometimes even our own. What I try to do is find solutions to problems and engage in conversations with others' opinions, because all of us bring something to the table, whether we realize it or not. In the book that I was reading, Toxic Parents, we seen some of the stories where some of the people felt like they were just existing because of the tapes they were playing in their heads from their parents, from their siblings, and even from some of their bosses. But I believe in getting to the root of the problem. So although I don't grow a garden in the backyard, I look at people as a garden. And the seeds that we plant in our head determines how we act and how we interact with other people. And it's just really, really, really hard to stay focused on something so great when you know that most people are not interested. And you know that by the interaction that you get. You know, it's really something. So for me, I don't plan on being here long, and I'm talking about tonight, because I'm gonna do YouTube, like I said, until I get tired. If I come up and say the same thing, I'm a same thing person. I kind of stay focused on me. But what's really beginning to bother me, and I foresaw this coming, that it's going to come a time, and I used to try to encourage people, you have a hobby or you have knowledge of something, to get on YouTube and make it work for you. But seeing how people click up and they're only about content that brings them cash app, that brings pain to other people, it's very hard for me to advise people to do that. But I just say don't get connected to a lot of people, and just do what you purposed in your heart to do when you got here. And that is to stick to your program. That's what I do. And do it to the best of your ability. Because it's very disheartening when you think that you've made, friendships over the internet that are lasting, and you think people are actually supporting you for you and what you bring, only to find out that they were not, and it was all just a game, and you were a part of their game. And when you don't play it in the way they want you to play it, then they move on to the next group of people. And that's just pretty much how it goes here on this internet. Okay, Maria said it's storming where she is. If she stopped typing, that's why. Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that, because I'm going to get ready to close in a few minutes anyway. It wasn't storming here yesterday, but we had our electricity went out. Hi, Regina M. Good to see you. Our electricity went out yesterday from about 6:31 to 4:40 this morning. And the thing about that is, when your power go out in your area, they sent a text and an email to say that it was less than 5% of the individuals in a 1-mile radius was affected by the blackout. The only thing is, they don't tell you what caused the blackout, and they don't tell you what they did to fix the blackout. They just tell you that it's blacked out, you're affected by it, and they send you text as they go along the way. But it's kind of like, again, YouTube. They tell you that your video is not suitable for all advertisers, but they don't tell you why they're not suitable. They don't give you a reason. And you know that your video is what you think is supposed to be, to help people. And for some reason, that they seem to think that not all advertisers would be interested. And I don't understand that at all. I would like more dialogue between YouTube and the content creator on issues of that matter, because you honestly don't know. And if you don't know what you're causing it to not be, then how can you correct an issue? that you don't know what the issue is. That's amazing to me. I don't understand it, and I probably never will understand it, but it is truly strange. And it's amazing to me how it just recently started happening. And I would say it's all a part of the craziness and all of the doxing and all of that kind of stuff. I would say that that is a part of it. And so Regina said, have you all heard about the racially motivated mass powwow in Jacksonville? Yes, I did. I didn't hear, I heard about the letter that the person wrote, but I don't know what all they said. It was like a 20-some-year-old young man, I believe it was. And they said it was racially motivated. Hold on a minute, you guys. I'm getting a lot better, but I tell y'all, this coughing and this spitting is really something. So, Regina, tell me, what's your thought on it? I did. I think I read an article on it. I didn't see the video, but I know that I think it was two men and a woman. I mean, and a woman. Lord help, two men and a woman that was shot. What do you think about it, Regina? Give me some input, because I know you got some good one. Good to see you too, Regina. Tell me what you think about it, because I did see that story. I tell you, I've been looking at a lot of like true stories on. Lately, I've been looking at a lot on different offenders in the sexual nature. I've been looking at their interrogatories and in their interrogations, and it's really been interesting to say the least. I just seen one about a guy too that was a rapper, and he was off on that drug. They call it Sherm some places. They call it PCP some places, and he ended up supposedly killing his girlfriend and eating some of her lungs. But her mother said that she doesn't believe he did that. And she said nobody will make her believe that. She believed that someone probably killed her daughter, and then with him seeing the lung on the floor, thinking it was meat, with him being under the influence and perhaps ate it, but it had her body parts in his body. It was 3 people that were killed. Maria. I'm waiting for Regina to say something, but I don't see her. Yeah, it was at a Dollar General. You can see it on YouTube. Okay, she's saying something now. My thoughts first, I would ask this question. Do you think because the assassin had mental health issues, would you think the crime would be based on mental illness or on race hate crime? And are you asking that question of the people, or you would ask that question of the professionals? Is that a question you would ask of the people, or would you ask that question of the professionals, Regina? Okay, the question is open to all. Okay, guys, I would like for y'all to give an input on this question that Regina asked. And she said her thoughts first, she would ask this question. So she's asking a question. Do you think because the assassin had mental health issues, would you think the crime would be based on mental illness or on racial hate crime? And then Asatar said he killed a 50-year-old lady sitting in the car. Then he killed a 19-year-old worker inside the store. The third one was a customer, but can't remember details. Okay, so Asatar just answered not Regina's question, but he's letting y'all know what happened in the situation. I want to hear other people's opinion before I gave mine. So now that y'all know the question, can y'all kind of give some type of response to the question? Asatar said he believes someone can be mentally ill and still commit a hate crime. So Alicia said mental illness is not an excuse. Great answer, so Alicia. Great answer. Great answer. She said there is too much help available. And then I think that he was like around 20 years old, something of that nature. And then if I read correctly, he also killed himself, if I read that correctly. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Let me thank Maria.
Your face. You got to remove the excess water. Now she's coming
This
out.
is how you do it. Thank you. Regina said, another part of the details is that the assailant lived at home with his parents. I heard people in the comments saying, have you noticed that a lot of these serial mass shooters live at home with their parents? His bedroom was locked when law enforcement went to his home to investigate. His parents said they had no idea. Okay, no one else is going to answer the question. Maria, you said wow, but you didn't answer the question. What do you think about the question that she asked? I'm going to read it again in case you didn't get it. She said she would ask the question, do you think because the assassin had mental health issues, would you think the crime would be based on mental illness or a racial hate crime? I'm going to say a racial hate crime. And although the person may have had mental health issues, my belief on mental health issues is different than a lot of people's belief on mental health issues. So that would separate me from most people. But I found that I haven't heard of one person that has killed a number of people, and especially if they were European. I'm not heard of one that they didn't say had mental health issues. And that's a broad statement, ambiguous at best. I don't know what that means, just to say they had mental health issues. I think the metaverse is a way to escape mental health. That's an interesting statement. That's an interesting statement. The assailant had swastikas all around his bedroom and other hate manifesto. We all know that racial hate starts close to home. I would have to say that it starts at home because that's where the teaching starts. It's from home. You know, if you look at a lot of different studies, and, you know, some people can consider that anything you say can be construed as misinformation, false information, whatever. It's as if opinions doesn't matter anymore. And if you're given an opinion, whether the opinion is right or wrong, it's just an opinion. And sometimes opinions are wrong, but it's still just someone's thoughts. But I think that if you look at a lot of studies, you will see the difference in how most Europeans have conversations with their children as opposed to most other races, if you go with race, have with their children. And Alicia said, especially if what you are watching increases violent thoughts or behaviors. Regina said, my answer would be it's a racial hate crime, period. Yeah, that's mine too. Because, like I said, I kind of beg to differ with people with mental illness or mental health because I look at things as traumatic. The mental illness, in my opinion, are the people that are born without the ability to think and grow and develop as most people their age. So it would be a cause in their physical makeup that would cause them not to be able to comprehend or to do the things that they should be doing by the certain age limits. But I think that that's just my opinion. But I think that is really considered hate because I don't know a mental ill person, number one, that would have a gun. I'm talking about a kid that would have a gun if it wasn't provided to them, that would know how to use the gun, that would know about swastikas and what they mean. And actually, they have taken that symbol and made it mean something that it doesn't mean, but all we've ever known it to mean was hatred. So if you're not willing to research to find out the history behind things, then you would never know that. And that's not a topic of conversation that you can have freely. Although they said that we have freedom of speech, freedom of speech is not so free because, again, we don't have a platform in which to be free on. And when you're on someone else's platform, they dictate rules, regulations, and what is viewed as free speech. And it seems anything that go against truth, or I should say a lie, because truth seems to not be what people seek on social media. Uh, in the world of entertainment, which is the section that we're in, it seems like people are not even wanting to hear truth. Uh, they would rather hear a lie and run with the lie as opposed to deal with the truth of a matter. But you can use any excuse, I guess. Maria says she don't know. Freedom of speech does not mean everyone can say and do whatever without it being challenged and are held with accountability. That is so very true. And you don't even have to do and say whatever. Freedom of speech means, in most parts, in the public, you can't tell truth because then truth becomes questionable. And oftentimes it becomes facts, truth becomes perhaps, maybe, you don't know that. Okay, and Maria says she think it could be both. And it doesn't become a problem with the free speech until, somebody, call you on the free speech. But I think that's where censorship comes in, because who's ever platform you in, they determine what speech you get to say freely. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to have to go in their favor, whoever the people are that own the platform. Anything you say that can become controversial, which is truth, then normally that's not allowed to be expressed freely. So we have to know that free doesn't always mean free. And I was taught that everything comes with a cost. And the cost would be, I guess, the consequences of whatever you say or whatever you do. The consequences behind it. That's what I would say. Okay, so I guess it would be the same then. What are the thoughts about the people at the riverfront that happened in Alabama a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if any of those people are claiming any mental illness or not. But what are your thoughts about the incident in Alabama a couple of weeks ago when this man was doing his job and he was uh, approached by different people asking him what did he think he was doing, and then eventually assaulted by several people for doing his job? I haven't heard any more about it, but I did see that they were arresting 3 people in reference to them jumping on him. I did see that. But I haven't heard any more about it. Hey, Laura. Good to see you. So what do y'all think about that Alabama incident? Indisputable, I think, is the show. It's a good show, and they have a lot of cases that happens that's, going on right now today. I don't know if y'all heard of the story with the lady who had, I think she had 4 children, and it was a neighbor who used to get mad at her children for playing. And she did something to one of the little boys, and the mother went over and knocked on her door. She wanted to talk to her, to ask her why did she do whatever it was she did to her son, and the lady shot through the door. And at first they were not going to even take her to jail. And they waited a little while. After it became, national news, of course, then they did decide to take her to jail, but I don't know what has happened since then. I really believe they let her go home, but I don't know if that is the case or not. There's so many things that's going on right here in America, and it seems like nothing has really changed as far as people relating one to another. It's just as much hatred going around today as it was, 200 years ago. It just seems like it's played out in different ways. And normally, like I said, the people that get caught doing it are, if they're European, they're normally deemed mental ill. And of course, if they are Asiatic, then they're deemed as hoodlums and thugs and don't deserve a chance at a trial. That's what I've noticed. Regina said exactly, Toothless. The world we live in is not based necessarily on truths or facts. It is based on classism. That is so true. Racial, sexual orientation, etc. Many biases that are rarely discussed. That's so very true. And you almost can't discuss it because somebody is going to pretend to be offended. And when they're offended, then you're violating some guideline or some advertiser rule that everybody is not going to want to advertise on. And if you're talking about anything realistic, to me, I don't know what advertisement company wouldn't want advertisement connected to something that is really something that affects everybody. But who am I and what do I know? Alicia said, I think those people learned a valuable lesson in Alabama. Don't write chicks your you-know-what can't cash. I think they did too, Alicia. And I think also the outcome didn't go the way that they may not have planned anything or thought it out, But it didn't go the way it would normally play out because this young man was truly known as, an honest, hardworking young man. The scale of justice has never been equal. No, it has not. That's why justice wears a mask and see nothing. And we can't really learn much. Although it's written for us all to read, but we're not encouraged to read. And the books are available to all. Even if you can't afford them, there are still things called libraries. And it used to be a time in life when people used to go to the library just to read, just to learn different things. And now you can pretty much go to the library from your computer. You can join any library at home. Your, state law library, your state library on any and all subjects. You can literally go on your computer and join and check out books, articles of whatever matter, and you can actually read them and turn them back in. You can also do that with the Library of Congress. That's where a lot of the history is recorded. You can actually join the Library of Congress from your home, and you can check out different, things that you want to know or you've heard about. And some stuff you can just think of a subject in your own head and ask them a question. And the librarians are very, very good with assisting. I know they have been with me when I was researching and doing a lot. I went through the Library of Congress as well as our state law library, because a lot of the things I was interested in, was related to law. But one thing that I learned in my research days is that history and law should be studied together so that you can get a better concept of what's being said. Because a lot of things we may hear and we may know, but if your concept is wrong, then you're not going to view it in its truth. And whether anyone acknowledge or recognize the truth, you should know the truth, because the truth will make you free. So it's up to you to gain that knowledge. And then you'll know it when you hear it or when you see it being played out. You'll know what it is. It's kind of like coming here to YouTube. It's unfortunate, but when you come with an idea and you think it's going to be one way, but unfortunately it's the other way. Regina said, in my opinion, many things in this world is once again being uncovered and revealed. Things that were covered up and shielded can no longer. So now truths are twisted and tainted with lies. That's so very true. And it is written that people would trade the truth for a lie. And most people would rather believe the lie than the truth. As we all know and have experienced at some point or another, that the truth is painful in its nature. But it is what it is. And acceptance of that truth is what helps us move forward to wherever it is we're trying to go. I find that to be true for me, although I didn't invent the truth, nor am I afraid to tell the truth. Oftentimes people don't want to hear the truth and they're not interested in the truth. I was also looking at this show today. It's this guy, he used to be, I think he was a con man, or he was a thief, white collar crimes, and they were talking about different con men and different thieves, and they were talking about that movie Catch Me If You Can and what it was based on, and they was talking about how these people, you know, tell their story, and their stories are not as great as they make them sound, and so they start making up the story after the fact, and it gets them a lot of sensationalism and a lot of money. They were talking about, working for as a CI, and it's a confidential informant for government agencies. And they were talking about now going out doing speeches. And it was one guy, they said that he did a speech, and he didn't do a speech less than $20,000 a day. And he was booked up. Maria, is your power on or is it out with the bad storm? Laura says she see it as a hate crime too. That's cold-blooded. I just got a text from my cousin, and he lives down close to Louisiana, and he said that his lights are out now. And sometimes they said that they were going to have those rollout blackouts, but they didn't tell us that it was a rollout blackout. And I guess oftentimes they don't tell us. But Texas has its own grid. Thank you, Sugar Man. Let me put some respect on that.
Your face. You got to remove the excess water. Now she's coming
This
out.
is how you do it. Thank you. Yeah, so now his lights are out. Mara said it was dark earlier for a minute. I slept kind of hard today because with our lights being out yesterday from 6 in the evening to 6:30 to 4:40, it was a miserable time, very miserable. Regina said, unfortunately, the assailant in Jacksonville, Florida, took his own life and will never stand trial for his crimes against humanity and his racially motivated hate of Black people. Yeah, that's what I thought. He had took his life. And plus, he was such a young guy. Because I believe he was around 20 or 21, I think I read. Yeah, you would even have to wonder at such a young age, where did all of that hatred come from? if it were not taught, you would have to wonder, where do all of that hatred come from? Because as far as I can recollect, in the past 20 years, he hasn't lived in a time, and perhaps he has, I don't know what his experiences are, that he received a lot of backlash from the Asiatics that, he was around, if he were around any, because we don't have that much history on him. Yeah, Asatar, I would have to agree. And that's my point that I said earlier. A lot of people, they teach different than we teach. Other races teach their children. Most of us don't teach hatred, not even against one another. And most of the hatred that's done to us is done against one another. But most of us don't teach that hatred. Most of us teach, love and everybody getting along and sharing and, things of that nature. Alicia said the door shut, parents saying they didn't know. Yeah, the parents always say they didn't know. I seen an article, I haven't had an opportunity to read it, that says the Navy SEAL who supposedly killed Osama bin Laden was arrested in Frisco. And Frisco is a suburb of Dallas. Regina said his parents claimed they didn't know about his bedroom or his mindset towards racism, yet he lived at home and was diagnosed at 15 with mental illness. Excuses. Okay, Maria said, no, her light's not out. Astor said, talk doesn't necessarily only mean mother or father. It could be grandparents and or aunts, uncles, neighbors, friends. Astor, I know you just have to say that, but it doesn't matter who. I think the operative word there was talk. So it could be anything. It don't have to be any of those that you named. It could be a game. It could be a book. So we could come up with countless of what it could be. But I think the operative word is talk. And 9 times out of 10, because you grow up in a home, most of your teaching comes from home or the lack of teaching. Either way, your foundation is laid at home. It could be built on a solid rock or it could be built on sand. But trust me, it's going to start from home or the lack thereof. Well, Maria, you be careful out there in that rain. We haven't had any rain in a while. It's just been real hot. Yeah, but that was a bit much for him to be so young and to do what he did. That was pretty deep. Yeah. And a lot of these children today, they're pretty much all, um, hey, Phyllis, you just got connected. And you see how that works. We're in the same house in different parts of the house, and the connectability is crazy. As Sator said, it's the parents' job to know what's going on in their house. That's just an excuse. It's a lot of things, that's going on too in these schools that are really crazy. Regina said lately most of the mass assault assailants are in their early 20s. Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that, Regina. That's really strange. Phyllis said, yes, the parents are the first teachers. I read a story here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, actually the same school system in which Phyllis used to work in, and a counselor was, mandatory reporter, and a special needs child came to her and told her about the teacher uh, actually pulled the chair off from under the child, and the teacher called the child an N word and called the child's mother a B. And so, the counselor, of course, reported it and did the mandatory requirement and reported it also to CPS. And then she was forced to retire. They said she could resign or get fired because she was the unethical one. Isn't that strange? Reminds me of somebody I know. And she was doing her job, but she was forced out of her job for doing her duty. Now imagine, had she not done her duty, she'd possibly be going to jail for not doing what she was supposed to do. Now she's faced with unemployment. I also seen something that says like the Whistleblowers Act. Those laws are very ambiguous too, and they don't really cover people. So they ask you to put your life on the line and to report things, but there is really no protection for you. So you would have to be able to live with your decision. And then that's a case of choosing your battles and knowing which ones you want to fight. And it's a sin and a shame that it's come down to that, but that's pretty much the way it is in life. You got to just choose your battles wisely and You have to know which ones you're willing to fight. Just when you think you're doing the right thing, you then have to ask yourself, right for who? Because, like I stated before, most people don't want the truth. They say, now, what type of mess is that? You must report child abuse and turn in those types of things, then get turned on. Maria said, I will, slow and steady. Yeah, slow and steady. Hesitar say, wait, the mandated reporter laws his or her job, not the teacher, educator. That's correct. You heard it right. Mm-hmm. It's sad, but it's true. Wow, Hesitar say, WTF. Yeah. But really, Hesitar, when you think about it, that's in all walks of life. Everybody holler do the right thing, but again, you have to ask yourself, the right thing for who? It's just like the young man that's a predator here on YouTube. When they look at the records and they talk about the different states of the crimes that he committed, they don't realize that it's 3 states that he committed crimes in that we've seen so far. Because the burglary that he committed was done in the state of Maryland. It was not in Virginia or Connecticut. And we didn't look at the entire 57 cases, so who knows how many states he's been in wreaking havoc. Phyllis say it's sad how this land of milk and honey is laid out to protect the dishonest ones. So very true, Phyllis. So very true. Regina said, FYI, there are major shortages across the board for public workers, teachers K through 12, policemen, nurses, even fast food workers. Scary. Yeah, it is. And they keep telling us that a famine is coming. And I think a lot of us really don't believe, because everybody is so caught up in the word that the CIA gave us called conspiracy theory. People don't really research and investigate for themselves. But it really is a shortage of all of those people. And it really takes people to do all of this. I seen a video. This guy, he's a Saudi prince, and he was landed in Dubai, and he had this big old tall robot behind him. That was his bodyguard. And that robot had a 360-degree angle, and they said it could shoot, I think it was 150 rounds. And then it also had a laser and the little sheik or prince, whatever he was walking, and the robot was so many feet behind him, but it was so overpoweringly big. I mean, God, Jiggity was tall and, clinking like a robot, walking behind him. This stuff, you talking about Star Wars and Beam Me Up, Scotty, and all of that craziness. This stuff is really real. Yeah, they actually have real live robots. And Phyllis said, yes, Regina, you are correct. It is a shortage. So Alicia said, they hiring transformers now. Yeah, real live robots. And they're replacing a lot of human jobs. And then we got to remember that some human programmed the robot. It did not program itself. So Alicia said, well, it better not have been Optimus Prime. You know what? So Alicia, I don't remember the name of it, but I seen it the other day, and I'm telling you, it was really scary. That thing was so big and tall, it was unbelievable. And it was walking behind the man. And it was so many feet behind the man. Let me see. Okay. Hold on a minute, y'all. I'm trying to see. This is some weird, scary stuff.
to be invited to this wonderful, prestigious event. السلام عليكم، كيف حالكم أيها الحضور الرائعون؟
Wow, what a futuristic police stand! Is it IDEX 2019 or 2050? Dubai Police always surprise us with the latest police technology to protect us and keep our lives safe, simple, and easy.
And that robot speaks 6 different languages. Okay, Maria, safe travels. Regina said there are a lot being revealed. AI, aliens, and flying objects, MUI, etc. Pay attention. However, there is not much anyone can do to stop it. Not ordinary people, that is. And that's true. I believe that. Let me see if Citizen Alicia was saying something. They say, okay, who was controlling the robot? Alicia said, that's scary. They say, don't a human control the robot? And Alicia said, art imitates life. How long have we been watching cartoons and movies about robots doing this? A long time, Alicia. Phyllis say, well, we are no robocalls, and it's hard to speak to a human. Then you cannot understand the human. Maria say, yep, that's what they are saying. I believe it's coming sooner than we think. Yep. And Phyllis says 6 different languages. Okay, the robot will hit all. Yeah. And I forgot how many million they said that it costs, but I read the article, and like when you cut on your phone and your phone have that news break, it has a lot of different articles, and then they had the little video. It didn't go as long as this one. I didn't know that it actually stopped and talked, because it just showed the little sheik or prince, whatever he was, walking in front. And then, but y'all can go and look it up and just put robot in Dubai is what I put in there, but it's got a name. And it was amazing to see. It was amazing to see, I tell you. So life really is changing, and we really need to change with it. What we have to do is start back reading and, stay abreast of things, because life is really, really, really changing. But you know what they say, the more things change, the more things seems to remain the same. And there is a saying that there is nothing new under the sun or under the heavens, meaning that it's just starting over again in a period that we don't know about, but we're learning. And we have to really, really, really stay on top of our children and teach them the way we were taught, as well as what's happening today, because they're definitely going to need to know today's way. But I think we should teach them how to write if they don't know how to write. And that's cursive writing I'm talking about, because a lot of people nowadays are not learning cursive writing because they had taken it out of the schools. Now, I heard that they brought it back, but I don't know if they have or not. I don't know if they have or not. And learning all that we can learn. And we probably need to be learning with the children. That would probably be best, because a lot of the new ways that they're teaching and stuff, a lot of us don't know it. But we're taught if we know the fundamental and the basics of anything, then we can always add to our learning. That's what we're taught. But I tell you guys, it's been a beautiful hour and almost 2 hours, believe it or not. Regina, I thank you for coming in and adding to the conversation. It really, really helps. That's what Asatar does a lot, add to the conversation. So Alicia, make statements that really make us want to speak on them. And that's what it's all about for me, is engagement. Izetta. Oh, she going to work, Izetta. She's leaving home, going to work. Maria's an awesome person in that respect. She used to work for this lady, and the lady had a special needs daughter. And the lady asked Maria if anything happened to her, would she promise to, make sure her daughter was all right? And she told her yes. And believe it or not, she's been sitting with this young lady who's a grown woman, but her mental capacity is that of a kid. And she has been sitting with her for over 15 years. She's been making sure that her baby is all right. So she does so much and worked very hard during the daytime. And then she has taken care of this lady for 15 years. Actually, a little more than 15 years. But yeah, she goes and makes sure that she's all right throughout the night. And then she gets her ready for, it's like a center that she gets to go to during the daytime. So I know her mother has to be smiling and turning over and happy and rejoicing that Maria kept her word. Literally kept her word. Okay. It's always a pleasure, Toothless. I have many random thoughts in my head for many, many subject matters. I dump them everywhere to make more space. But please feel free to dump them here, because we need them. Again, I don't know what YouTube is looking for these days. It seems any subject that you speak on is questionable. And then I know it has to do with a lot of the flagging that's going on, and flagging and flagging. And then they're changing their algorithms. And in my mind, I could be wrong, but in my mind, I think that's just another way they're trying to find not to pay so many content creators. And I know that they say that they want us making money. And perhaps if you're a real, and you don't have to be no real big one, because a lot of the real big ones are losing their monetization as well. But I think they're changing the dynamic of monetization, and that's just one woman's opinion. I don't know if it's true or false, but they made it easier for you to monetize with 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours, and that gives you membership and it gives you super chats. Well, they get a percentage of everything we do, but it seems like it's more beneficial for them to get the super chats and the membership money than to worry about the advertisement money. And so it's almost as if that's playing out. I don't know if that's true or false. That's just one woman's opinion. Because like I stated before, it's a lot of things that I dare not, broach. And I'm still getting treated as if I'm talking like my bully. And I don't believe it's just happening to me. So, people say that woman is just a victim. I am of whatever I am a victim of. But I don't believe I'm the only one. I think this is a change in the dynamic. And that's why I always try to encourage people. We should try to be a part of something. Because 9 times out of 10, when we become a part of something, if it's too many of us, then the rules seem to always change. And that has happened in my lifetime on numerous occasions, looking back on a lot of different things. It's real good program. It sounds real good. And then we started getting involved, and next thing you know, the program has changed. The rules changed. Thank you. So at least you know I'm not. I am not a victimizer. Phyllis say, I like night shift jobs if I work. Now, no time is the best time for me. No work for me. No, when you worked 40 and 50 years, it's a good thing. And for those who can continue to work, that's even better. Doing this is another stream of income, but for me, it's not work. It's when you do what you love, and I love doing it. And I thank each and every one of you for being a part of it. I didn't know how far I would go and how I would grow. I started out with 3 people. And although I show 1,400 people, and rarely do we get 30 people, but the thing of it is that you guys are here faithfully. And so I don't worry about the people that I don't get. I just want to be able to engage with the ones that I do get, and hopefully that you're enjoying it as much as I am. And I thank you all for being a part of it. Asatar says, as a lot of you can tell, Izetta has a warm place in her heart because of her willingness to speak out about the Asatar that she knows. When people were lying on me, she'll forever have my gratitude because she didn't have to do that. And yeah, that does mean a lot, Asatar, and I'm grateful, Izetta, that you did that for Asatar, because he did that for me. And that's what it's all about. Speaking out against wrong. Billy said, some folks love doing something. They need to be busy at all costs. Izetta had ass with 4 hearts. Regina said, the flagging on YouTube is usually due to others. There are thousands of YouTubers and many questionable channels. The difference is they go under the radar because they work alone and at a distance. I believe that, Regina. I believe that's true. And I think that the difference is in this sector, it doesn't matter if you work alone or not, because I work alone, but people will drag you into their craziness. And you can do one of 2 things. You can ignore it, or you can defend against it. And where all the craziness comes in is when people decide to stand up for themselves and defend against it, no matter which way you choose to stand up for yourself. And everybody has a right to defend themselves against craziness and injustice. I remember one time when I was fighting on my public job, and this guy asked me a question: do you think winning, you always win? And my answer is yes. But what he was getting me to see is that sometimes you can win uh, this battle, but it doesn't necessarily mean you win the fight because of the way people do and come back at you. But I'm the person that I don't care what they do and come back. I'm going to stand for me regardless. And that's how everyone should be if they're under attack. You know, you can't win them all. And the outcome really is not what people think it is. It's your ability to stand in the face of danger, whatever that danger may be, and stand for what you believe in with all that you have. That alone is winning in my book, no matter the outcome. Being able to stand and not letting someone knock you off your square. Because it can be awfully lonely at times when you know that you've done nothing to anybody, but everybody is against you. It can be overwhelming. But when you realize, and when you're taught by parents that love you, and they teach you about the wickedness of mankind and how doing right can get you in trouble just as well as doing wrong. And one would say, how could that be? All you have to be is around human beings and you'll find out. You just let whatever you do be the right thing. That's all you can do. Isaiah said it was just too much disrespect towards you as an Alicia. I wasn't going to be a part of that evil mess. And Phyllis said, stand up for yourself. You must not let folks walk over you. No, you have to stand for yourself. And that's all you can do. And then you have to stay your course. You have to stay your course. The answer is to get out of the hater's algorithm. To do that is to unsubscribe from each one. Subscribe to channels that are of better interest for you. I'm going to say, oh, great job. And that is true. That's so true, Regina. That's what you have to do. I'm with you, Laura. Not me. Isaiah said, I mix ginger, honey, and lemon together whenever I have a cold. Thank you, Isaiah. We're going to try that because I think I have some ginger and honey. Yeah, I'm going to try it. I thank you for giving it to me. Because I tell you, I'm thinking the worst part is over, but I still have this cough. And although coughing comes with the congestive heart failure, I have medicine that I take for that. So it's definitely under control. But when I got this head cold, it was really something. So I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to try that. Yeah, but I have unsubscribed to the majority of the people. There are a couple of people that I support and like. But yeah, I mean, you just can't listen. And after a while, you have to quit everybody from telling you the things that they hear and see, because it's just too much. It's overwhelming. And people just say some of the most outrageous stuff. Regina say, you have a cold, toothless. My apologies. I have missed you saying you wasn't feeling well. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have. That's one of the reasons I contemplate coming on along with the craziness that's going on. But, as long as I can talk, I'm going to come on and say whatever I can say. And like I said, I don't know what is happening with this YouTube stuff, but I think that they should be a little bit more real with us and realistic, and let us know what the things that they're saying that's not advertiser friendly, because I just really didn't understand. Now, I knew I was coming upon chapter 7, which was talking about the abusers that are sexual abusers, the toxic parents. And so I wasn't going to do that on a live stream. I'm still going to just read that on a video. But the last chapter, I thought that was awfully good. And it was talking about the physical abusers, the parents. And so I don't understand. And the categories that I read out to you, this did not fall into any of those categories according to me. But perhaps my understanding is not quite their understanding. But one thing we do know, that when you don't own the platform, then they can change the policies and the procedures at any given time. And that's what we live up under, policy and procedure of whatever corporation we're dealing with. That's what we're functioning and operating under, their policies and procedures. And it happens to us all. So that's the balance. And I guess you could call it even the equalizer. It happens to us all. So for that reason, I can keep going with my head up and feel whatever I feel. I feel that as a human. But I believe in moving forward no matter what. And that's what I do, continue to move forward. So on that note, I will play a couple of my songs, as I always do, and then we're going to get ready to call it a night. I'm going to play Family Affair and My Little Jennifer that I love playing. And that's just to let you know that mental health, mental illness is a family affair. The same with addiction and whatever you may be going through. It's all a family affair. And we need to get back to loving each other and respecting one another as families. And as we do that, then we could possibly help children. Because we say that they're our future, but what are we leaving them? What are we teaching them? They said that it is 1 million people a day turning 65 years old. That's frightening. 1,000,000 people today. And we're known as the baby boomers. So if I make it to October the 26th of this year, I will be turning 65. And I'll be one of those millions turning 65 on that day. Some of us are living longer, and some of us not so long. But we have to just keep trying and give it our all. And we have to keep encouraging one another no matter what. Billy said these folks change to fit their agenda, and that's so very true. Regina said you absolutely cannot continue to listen to toxic insanity. Whenever it impacts your real life, nobody has time for that. We are all here for our own personal reasons. Life is about helping others. That's really what it's about. And that's what I love about my life. I am grateful for the talent that I was given, the intellect, and my willingness to be obedient and to give unconditionally. It really matters. If it matters to nobody but you as an individual, that is an affirmation that you can give to yourself. Because it's all in what you believe as an individual. And you must believe in yourself. It's a MUST. In order for you to be anything for anybody, you've got to first be there for yourself. And if you haven't embarked upon the journey of self, I would suggest that you do that and start with a pen and paper. It really helps to get to know you. Not the you somebody wants you to be, not the you that somebody think you are, but the you that you love and can live with, and look in the mirror and say, hey, you know, I like you. I love you. And you're worthy of every good thing that comes your way. You got to be able to do that and say that and mean that. It's a lot of people talk a good game, but they're not living life to the fullest. And to the fullest doesn't mean the same to everybody. So you find your fullest and make that happen. Regina says everything in your life matters. All of it, good, bad, and indifferent. #life. And that is so very true, Regina. I will hashtag that too. It matters. It really does. Yeah, it takes all of that to make you who you become. It takes all of that, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Happy New Week, everyone, and safe travels, beautiful people. May God Almighty keep us all safe. Good night, chat. Get well soon, Toothless. Thank you so much, Izetta. Thank you for being with us and for that beautiful prayer, because that is a prayer. And I receive it. Thank you so much. Did you know that mental health is a family affair? It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, one child grows up to be somebody that just loves to learn, and Another child grows up to be somebody you just love to burn. Mama loves the both of them. You see it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood thicker than the mud. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Oh, a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Nobody wants to blow. Nobody wants to be left out. You can't leave because your heart is there. But you can't stay because you've been somewhere else. You can't cry because you look broke down. But you're crying anyway because you're all broke down. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, it's a family affair. Hey. You know, sometimes in a relationship, be it male or female, we tend to not want to let go. No matter what's going on in our relationship, we just want to hold on. Sometimes we find ourselves singing this song. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. No way. No way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't want to be free. I'm staying, and you're gonna love me. Ooh, love me. You're gonna love me. And I am telling you, I'm not going, even though the rough times are showing. There's just no way, there's no way. We're part of the same place. We're part of the same time. We both share the same blood. We both have the same mind. And time we've had so much to share. No. I'm not waking up tomorrow morning and finding that there's nobody there. Darling, there's no way. No way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. You see, there's just no way. There's no way. Tear down the mountains, yell, scream, and shout. Like you can say what you want to. I'm not walking out. Stop all the rivers, push, strike, and kill. I'm not going to leave you. There's no way I will. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever ever go. No, 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 no way. No, 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 no way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. Not living without you. I don't want to be free. I'm staying. I'm staying. And you, and you, and you, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. Yes, you are. Ooh, ooh, love me. Ooh, 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 love me. Love me. Love me. Love me. You're gonna love me. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all.